for joining us. You're watching EMag, your weekly news program. Coming up in this edition, ASEAN 2012, this Sunday will be the end of 2 weeks of intense competitions. The qualified teams to the final unknown, Ivory Coast and Zambia. Which of the two will dethrone the pharaohs of Egypt? We will take a look on the strengths and weaknesses of both sides. English clubs of Kermassar decide to join forces to better promote the language of Shakespeare. They too talk about English, a competition in which participants will show their talent in grammar, general knowledge and spelling. Finally, the story of a self-made man whose culinary expertise is recognized worldwide. The famous Senegalese cook Ali Baba Gueye is our guest. But first, celebration of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, birth, commonly called Gammu. The event is commemorated in all religious cities, including Medina Bay. Thousands of pilgrims gathered last week in the holy place, paying also tribute to their guide, Sheikh Ibrahim Niass, founder of the Islamic movement, Faida. Awanya reports.
Medina Bay is the headquarters of the Ibrahimiya branch of the Tijaniya Sufi order and was founded by the great Sheikh Ibrahim Niass. Sheikh Ibrahim was a major leader of the Tijani Sufi order of Islam in West Africa. His followers in the Senegambia region refer to him in Wolof as Bai or Father. Sheikh al-Islam is the founder of Ibrahimiya branch of the Tijani order.
ومن له الحسنى فقط محمد الهادي الذي عليه جبريل هبط محمد بشر لا كالبشر بل هو كالياقوت بين الحجر اللهم صل على من طاعت يكون بدين جاد براعة الاستلال ومن خاتمته براعة المقتل والكمال اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد بحر أنوارك ومعدن أسرارك ولسان حجتك وعروس مملكتك وإمام حضرتك وطراز ملكك وخزائن رحمتك وطريق شريعتك المتلذذ بتوحيدك إنسان عين الوجود والسبب في كل موجود عين عيان خلقك المتقدم من نور ضيائك فلا تنتدم بدوامك.
In Kaulak, the Maulid celebrations became popular under the Sheikh of Tijani Ibrahim Niass. On this important day, many visitors come to the city from other regions of West Africa. Medina Bay is a center of Islamic learning on the outskirts of Kaulak. The city was built in 1930 by Sheikh Ibrahim. By his death in 1975 in London, he had millions of followers throughout the world.
Speak, understand the rudiments of English, a whole process in which are engaged English clubs of Kermassar. Their common framework talk about English, a competition through which participants will show their talent in grammar, general knowledge and spelling. The initiators tell us more about this program.
Talk about is a berry. Why a berry? Because down in Kermassar, this is the first time we organize this kind of competition in English. And now talk about English is a competition which gather many English clubs from different schools, public school, private school, in order to give them the opportunity to express themselves and to improve their level. Because in Kermassar, if I can say in the suburb, there are many ECs, how can I say, English clubs, but they don't get the place to express themselves. First of all, they must have an EC, and after getting an EC, they must give some financial, how can I say, participation. So 10,000, only 10,000 for the first edition.
The jury is composed of, some dynamic and tough and rough teachers, coming from the suburbs. The teams, the English club which compose this competition are 4 teams. They come from Malika, Yombol, Boone, and Kermassar. We usually group together in the foyer de jeunes of Kermassar, every Saturday, and in which, they come. The way that we held the competition is the same like the ELA.
It's not easy. We did start with, not more than, let me say, 100,000. So you see, it's not very, very, very easy for us to manage this kind of manifestation without not having enough money. But yeah, we've been asking for sponsors around. Then none of them has an answer yet. We're still waiting for them. We've been in touch with the mayor of Kermassar as well. They stated that, they're going to give us a help. We're still waiting. Maybe that's going to come. They've told us that maybe there will be there and for the semi-final and the final as well. And we asking as well to all English lovers who can help us just to come and give us help because we need it.
Ivory Coast or Zambia, which of the two teams will succeed to the Pharaohs of Egypt? Difficult to answer the question. Ivory Coast can boast of having the most talented group of players from the continent, but no favorite logic when playing against the team which defeated Senegal and Ghana. Aramonyon has more.
The final of this 28th edition of the Africa Cup of Nations is opposing Cote d'Ivoire and Zambia. Both teams have common points in the history of African football. Each of them is playing its third final, 1974, 1994 and 2011 for Zambia, and 1992, 2006 and the current edition for Cote d'Ivoire. Both also topped their groups after the first round of the competition. Another third point in their similarities, the affective aspect. Cote d'Ivoire wants to raise this trophy to continue the reconciliation process in the country, whereas Zambia intends firmly to give homage to the team which died in an air crash in April 1993 in Libreville. For the differences between Cote d'Ivoire and Zambia, the country of Didier Drogba won the cup in 1992 in Dakar, whereas Zambians are running after their first triumph. The local coach François Zahoui needs a happy ending for this competition, and Hervé Renard, the Zambia French coach, is in the look for fame. A sharp opposition of styles between swiftness and technicity, the winner after this confrontation is certainly going to win more than a trophy, but glory and prestige in the Africa football planet.
Ali Baba Gaye, or the story of a self-made man who succeeded in the demanding world of gastronomy. The famous Senegalese cook is our guest in this interview, the saga of a man for whom the only failure in life is not to try.
I call myself a lucky man. I was lucky, but I'm not better than anybody. If I call myself a lucky man, means I was trying to be a good guy every day, working hard. When I was in the US, I was working like 19 hours a day, 7 days a week. Right? And if you do that, God might help you. Right? And I get blessed from God. Yeah, you know, you do what you love, money will follow you. That's my philosophy. I love my job, and I love people. I love to help people, and things happen.
You don't follow any specific studies to be a chef, for example?
Yes, after. But before, I didn't know that job. My first job was a dishwasher and delivery guy. And after that, I fell in love doing cooking and pushing myself to be one day a chef. After that, I see the result. Result means I see a lot of people who call me, a lot of people who want to test my food. And sometimes you call yourself, I don't know, a genius. I used to work at a restaurant owned by Madonna in Eugene. I used to work for Paul Newman Bogdanov for 12 years. I cooked for Joe Frazier.
My God, Joe Frazier?
Yeah. Dennis Lockman, Monica Lewinsky, Bill Clinton, and guy who owned Forbes magazine. Also, I used to work for Lee, who owned a big business. It's a guy from Korea. I used to work for a Turkish guy called Mike, who owned a big business in New York. I know many people. Between me and Barack Obama, one day, like I told you, one day I have a friend who asked me to write Barack Obama. And I asked him, if I write to him, I think I'm not going to get an answer. He said, what I know from you, anybody you write a letter, he's going to answer you. And we did that letter, and I get my answer after 60 years. And he put me like a guy who can help the United States today and tomorrow.
So you came in the U.S. at the time when, from scratch, one could build something. Do you think in this world going more like global, more like warfare, where the path to success meets certain codes like schools and universities? Do you think in this context, is it possible to succeed like it was the case for you?
Yes. For me, everything is possible. Like Obama said, yes, we can. Life is about trying. If you try today, you fail. Next time, God will help you. Like, life is about trying. You always try. If you try, you win. If you don't try, you're not going to get nothing. This time, I decide with my president Ablaye, who helped me a lot to stay in Senegal. And here, I want to build something. And sometimes I say, why everybody know me in US, in Japan? Why not here? Why not in Senegal?
What are your projects here in Senegal?
My project is to build a school. Right now I have a school and teach people how to eat healthy food and don't cost nothing. See, we have in Senegal a lot of products and they cost nothing. Like if you have a brand called mean son in French, and in Europe called choc. We have corn, we have niebe, we have najo, we have everything. With those kind of products, it's possible to innovate and do something new.
It is now time for this week's International News Roundup.
Over 500 protesters rallied in the Spanish capital Madrid Thursday to support an internationally renowned judge, Baltasar Garzón. Spain's Supreme Court has barred Judge Garzón from the judiciary for the next 11 years for abuse of power. Baltasar Garzón is waiting to hear an appeal concerning his inquiry into tens of thousands of suspected murders by forces loyal to Spain's former dictator, General Franco. The case has divided the country. A special United Nations envoy has arrived in the Maldives to hold talks with the new administration to end violent protests against the ousting of former President Mohamed Nasheed. The former president said he was forced to resign and is calling for new elections. UN envoy Oscar Fernandez Daranco says there's no external solution to a problem that must be solved by the Maldivians themselves. This is the Israeli hospital where Kadar Adnan, a Palestinian prisoner on hunger strike, is being treated. Kadar Adnan has not had food for the past 54 days to protest against being charged or tried. Kadar Adnan is believed to be the leader of the Palestinian militant group the Islamic Jihad, his lawyers calling for his immediate release. In Brazil, police in Rio de Janeiro are joining a strike movement started in the city of Salvador. The strike starts just 1 week before Rio's annual carnival, the biggest in the world. The police strikers are demanding higher salaries, better working conditions, and for their strike leaders to be released from detention. The crime rate in the city of Salvador has increased dramatically since the strike began, and the authorities are telling people to stay home.
Well, that's it for this news program. Join us next week, same time, same channel. Thanks for watching.